Hi everyone, I hope you're all well today. Welcome to another video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss my notifications. So today's topic is manifestation / law of attraction. Is it a scam? So I've been thinking about this for a while. I do agree with some aspects of it. I think that there is a lot of truth to things like positive mindset, abundance mindset, detachment from outcomes, things like that. These are all stuff that can be beneficial. However, there are people out there trying to sell courses, books, and one-on-one coaching that I think oftentimes can be they can be quite exaggerating of the claims that they make, that they can, for example, people who say that they can make a specific person appear in your life in something crazy like 30 minutes. So just do this thing and then it'll make your specific person appear in 30 minutes. The thing is, a lot of these people I think are playing on people's insecurities and their feelings of like lack, and that they want to, make profit, so they're going to use these desperate people to, kind of sell courses to, sell coaching to, maybe sell books to, where they make all this money and they're just promoting a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of it's just snake oil. There's a lot of grifters and downright scammers on the internet, but there is some things that you can take from it, like if you think negative thoughts, then you create more negative outcomes, and if you think positive thoughts, you create more positive outcomes. But it's like, the thing is that reality is quite chaotic. There are things that we can't really control, and there are external things that are out of our control that we cannot do much about. Now, yeah, we can help to improve certain outcomes by aligning our thoughts with what we want. However, it is not a 100% guaranteed method to achieve that. Like, I mean, for example, like you could just be like praying for somebody to, make it through some illness, but in these sort of instances, can that really help? Some people might argue that it could, but it's not a guarantee. I don't think it's a guaranteed way of making that person get better or something. Like, you could argue that it's sending out some positive vibration, but it's like a lot of the stuff that they claim about, positive vibrations and all that. I mean, I want to believe it. I want to believe that you can send out positive vibes into the universe and then that comes back to you. But like, I think it can only do so much. It's like, yeah, you can have this wishful thinking of you want a certain outcome in your life, you want love into your life, you want money into your life, but it's not just gonna magically appear in your life. The part that a lot of these people are missing is that it's going to take a lot of work. You can't just manifest it without grit and determination. You have to want it bad enough. So if you don't have the willpower to be able to make it happen, then you can't really probably manifest it, because someone out there is going to be more determined and get it. So for example, you want to win a, let's say, I don't know, 100-meter race or something. So you have to really be wanting it more than anybody else. So it's not just about, I want this and I can manifest it. there's other people out there that want it as well, and they might just be naturally better as well. So some of it comes down to luck. So we can't just like deny that as well. So a lot of it comes down to luck, hard work, and talent. Then yeah, wishful thinking and believing in yourself, that can definitely help. For example, if you go into a job interview and you're confident, you put out a sort of aura of confidence, then they can feel that, whether that's consciously or subconsciously. They can feel that you're confident energy, and you're more likely to get the job. So yeah, but yeah, it's just, another one is like, say if a guy's, goes up to a woman and he's confident, and he's more likely to get her number and get on a date with her or something. So whereas if he was shy and awkward, then he's less likely to make that happen. But you could be the most confident guy in the world and still get rejected. So it's never like a 100% thing that you can manifest anything that you want. It's like, if that's the case, then it's like, then why isn't everybody doing it then? There's limitations to what we can achieve. It's like you can't just believe in some quite, sort of delusional things like that you're going to become an astronaut one day or something, because only a small amount of people are ever going to be able to do that. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's you would have to be incredibly lucky. You'd have to be incredibly talented, and most people are, I mean 99.9999% of people aren't going to be able to do that. That's just the way it is. I mean, so we can be delusional all we want, but there are certain things in life that are not going to happen, no matter how hard you believe in them. I just, maybe you can disagree with me in the chat, but I mean, there was this book called The Secret or something. I mean, I've not actually read it, so to be fair, maybe I need to look more into it and try and understand about the principles more of manifestation. I think I heard like Conor McGregor actually was looking into this stuff, so I think there is some benefit from it. But I think the problem is when they exaggerate claims of like, and they start bringing in things like spirituality and metaphysics into things. They start talking about some abstract concepts that, I mean, I do think that a lot of it comes down to the subconscious mind. Like, we can, I believe, reprogram our subconscious mind. Like, if we have a, kind of, like, say, we might be subconsciously blocking things because subconsciously we're in scarcity mode or whatever, and thinking that we are scarce or whatever, that we have scarcity in our lives as opposed to abundance, and we have all this stuff that around us. It's like, I'm in abundance right now. I'm in this kind of bit of a wooded area again. So I was here yesterday. I thought I'd film here again. It's a little bit more sheltered here because I've been in some areas where it's been really windy, and I thought try come out here and it's a little bit less windy out here. There's not as much of the noise, and people were saying they couldn't watch that video. So yeah, it's just unfortunate. But yeah, sometimes you have to also just kind of listen to criticism and things like that, so that can help you to achieve your goals. So it's not just about wishful thinking and all that, because if that's all you're focusing on, then you're just, it might just get you into this mindset where if people criticize you, then you're just going to automatically assume that they're haters or whatever, and it can be a bad mindset to get in. But yeah, I might need to look at The Secret. It's just that I tend to not really want to look at books that could be like hundreds of pages long if I don't actually believe that it's going to be helpful. And because I have heard some stuff that it's a bit of a snake oil book, and it's not something that should really be trusted in so much, but maybe there is some good to come from it. It's like, I mean, there's this saying that goes, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So even a lot of this content that, you know, is most of it's false, there's something good to come from it. You know, someone could be very stupid and have some good bits of wisdom to say that you would never hear from anywhere else. So there's value from everything. It's just about, in terms of like time to reward, it's like if you're having to spend days to read a book just to get a little bit of insight from it, is it really worth it? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I should probably look more into some of this stuff. I mean, there's like, I've seen stuff about like Neville Goddard and like his teachings, and I think he was like quite if I remember, he was quite a religious kind of guy, or at least a very like spiritual kind of guy who was, it's just they start bringing in more like metaphysical things, and it just, to me, it just kind of muddies the waters of like the message of like positive mindset. There's a lot of like, you know, just these basic things that I agree with, like believing in yourself, reprogram your subconscious mind to abundance, because then you attract more of abundance, because you attract more of what you assume to be true. So if you assume there to be abundance, then you attract more abundance. If all you see is, all you perceive is fear and suffering, then you attract more of that. So I would suggest people like don't read the news for that reason, because that's just going to keep you in a fear-based mindset where you just feel like everybody's out to get you, and it's not a good mindset to be in, because it just gets you focusing on the outliers that are the worst kind of people. And it can also just make people really bitter and angry as well, like they're seeing all this nonsense going on in the world. So I would try to avoid a lot of that stuff. Only surround yourself with the right kind of people. And this is another thing I agree with about like vibrational, you know, in terms of like vibe, you know, being around the right kind of vibe of people. Some people call it like a vibe tribe or whatever, and being around a certain kind of people that uplift each other. And I mean, people talk about like, you know, thoughts being a vibrational frequency and all this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not too sure about that. It starts to get a little bit metaphysical, and I want to try and kind of like try to keep things simple, and just that basically that people who are in a kind of negative mindset, if you're around them too much, then you can start to pick up on that and start to feel more negative yourself. So that's one of the ways that you can actually reprogram yourself, is actually by being around that energy, because it's hard to not start thinking positively when you're around positive, uplifting people, supportive. There are always other things you can do, like affirmations and stuff. So I think there is some truth to that, and it can help some people, I guess. It's just sometimes people exaggerate the benefits of things, and then they start adding in, like I said, they add in metaphysics, they add in unproven spiritual claims. They start talking about timeline shifting and things like that, which, I mean, maybe there is truth to it, but it's like, to me, it just starts getting super complicated, and talking about 5D shift and all that. I try to stay grounded. It's just my mind is like, I just want to stay grounded in reality, because I can't prove any of this stuff. I've never really gotten into the whole like spirituality thing that much, because it starts getting all a bit like into like unproven territory, stuff that I can't see or feel. It's just very subjective. So yeah, so a lot of this, like, you know, like law of attraction, manifestation stuff is basically just, they take some simple bits of advice that anyone can agree with and start adding in magic, basically, because it sounds fun, you know. It's like, because you feel like empowered when you hear these things, and you hear like, you know, you might hear some kind of like lecture on it or something, and they do these seminars talking about how to, you know, increase your frequency or whatever, like, but they start going into the territories like 5D shifting and all that, then it loses me, because I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, what? It just, I think, because they need to kind of add in a sort of element that they can then sort of like be like, oh, well, you need to then buy this course to learn more about that and how to shift into 5D, because most people are going to be like, what the hell are you even talking about? What's that about? I think that's when it gets into scammy kind of, you know, that's when it becomes scammy, when they're promoting things that are just not proven and just acting as though it's a fact. It's like if they say that this is what I believe in, okay, fair enough. But when they start making claims that are unfounded, and they're just like, I can't really take these people seriously at that point. To me, they're just a bunch of charlatans. They're just a bunch of snake oil salesmen, grifters, who are just probably making millions. Some of them, they have manifested their millions by scamming people. And I think it's disgusting. Like, I think it's because they know that people are gullible, and instead of actually like trying to help them become more pragmatic and be realistic about things, they just sell people a dream. So oftentimes these, you know, courses online, you get like, say, people teaching, oh, how to make, you know, £10,000 a month passive income within your first week or something like that. It's like something crazy like that, where it's just unrealistic for the vast majority of people, like, unless you get extremely lucky, like, then. But you know, you get these people like, you know, you had these people like Ty Lopez or Dan Locke, these griftery people who are selling people dreams, or selling people snake oil. You know, they're selling people, it's basically they're giving people hope just to then end up destroying it, because then people oftentimes will realize once the penny has dropped that they've been had. But a lot of people will just keep going on with it, and then oftentimes they'll get upsold a more expensive course because they're like, oh, well, this ain't working out for me. Oh, well, that's because you need this next course. So this, let's say they sell them like something at, I don't know, let's say they start off with one at $100 or whatever, right? That doesn't work very well for them. And then, so they're actually in the negative. They've actually lost money, and then they're feeling like it's not, they've not gotten any more knowledge than they would have just by understanding the basic principles. So what they do then is they then get sold a more expensive course, let's say $500, and they're like, oh, well, okay, I guess I'll have to buy this then, because they're invested then. They've already dropped $100. So instead of accepting that it could all be a lie, because that's quite uncomfortable, they then invest way more money, and then that might not work out for them, and then it's $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, and on. I've heard sometimes they're selling courses at tens of thousands of dollars. It's crazy. It's like, how can you justify that? It's just such scummy, and no wonder a lot of these people selling these things are multi-millionaires. Like, yeah, like there was this guy, I think Eric Ho, I think he was called. Like, he was one of these law of attraction YouTubers, and the guy's absolutely loaded, and it's not because he just manifested it out of thin air. He's been selling BS to people, pretending to be some spiritual guru. That's what they do, a lot of these people. It's like, you know, to get people believing in magic. But reality, unfortunately, isn't like that. Reality doesn't care if you believe in magic. It'll do what it'll do. You know, we can't just magically think, oh, well, it'll never rain again, because that's just not physics, is it? Yeah. There are certain things that are out of our control, and we have to come to accept that and just work with what we've got, improve in the ways that we can, and learn to be happy with just accepting the things that we can't change. And that's okay sometimes, you know. It's just to try to focus on the things you can control. That makes you feel more empowered. And yeah, but just don't trust in all these gurus that are trying to sell you courses on law of attraction. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's like the tarot readers and all that kind of stuff. That's another one I feel like is just I don't know. Maybe that's worth a video as well. But yeah, what do you all think? I mean, I just think it's a bit scummy, scammy, and just misleading people, having them believe in a fairy tale that they just do a certain thing, like a certain mantra, and that magically brings all of their dreams true, and they don't have to like work hard to get there. That's what they're making it out to be, like just close your eyes and just visualize, and then it happens. But yeah, that can help to get you in the right mindset to then go and take action. But one of the things I would say is that you need to set a realistic goal, because otherwise you're less likely to take action with it. So yeah, just try and find a goal that is achievable, because then you can set yourself like a step-by-step plan that is reasonable, that you can, like, okay, I'll do this one step, which is super easy, and then once you've done that, you move on to the next step, which is then easy, because once you achieve the first thing, then it sort of gives you that leverage to then get to the next step, and then so on and so on. So it's about just focusing on each step at a time. Like, try not to focus too much on the end result. Focus on the journey. And the thing is that there is fun in embracing the journey, and just because a lot of fun can happen along the way when you want to get somewhere, and then you get there, it's like, okay, well, where do you go then? So yeah, life has a lot of twists and turns, and sometimes it's good if we go the scenic way and not be trying to rush to manifest things. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I'll be live at about 7 p.m. tonight, so I'll see you all then. All right, peace out, bye.